This is the off-season episode, and we start here looking at some news, and what we've got is Oklahoma right outside linebacker Lane Merritt winning the Heisman. And this time when it says joins the exclusive club of Heisman-winning defensive players, there is actually a club now, because if you remember last year, a defensive player won the Heisman Trophy as well. So there's 3 of them in there now, and then that of course means that he has superstar development. It will put his overall up, definitely someone we're interested in now if we weren't before. And then Auburn left end Bernard Cooper records 4 sacks. That means absolutely nothing for his stats or anything. It's just news. So let's take a look. We've got ourselves 200 points here to look at a few more players. And although we've already looked at outside linebackers, it's of course important to now take another look. Again, why did I go to left outside when we know it's right outside? So we were already interested in Lane Merritt anyway with those kind of stats. Maybe not perfect, but now that we know he's got superstar development, certainly interested. He's big as well, 6'3", 239. Certainly someone we'll be interested in, considering the fact we're not interested in pretty much any other outside linebackers. None of these numbers are good enough to even be worth looking at anything else. He's basically the only guy. Joey Gonzalez, I don't know why we're looking at him. Must have been obviously something to do with the news. So we'll keep an eye on him as well. But Lane Merritt, we do want another outside linebacker. Again, this season we had injuries at outside linebacker. And you know, just because Tyus Bowser and Tim Williams are guys that came in and are real players and are our rookies, doesn't mean they're unreplaceable. But Lane Merritt, at least as a backup, with the amount of draft picks we've got, we can even look at backups. Of course, we can change people's positions anyway if it works out, but that's someone we're interested in. We're basically looking at safeties, was the most recent thing I was doing. Something that's happening right now is my scouting is messing up. If I press to scout somebody, it won't actually load. I have to go to another position, back to that one, and it'll mess up the order and everything as well. But let's see where I can use these 200 points. So I'll just show you exactly what I mean here. At the wide receivers is what we're looking at, and I'm just trying to, you know, look at all these second rounders. Annoyingly, I could save myself a lot of points if I can immediately see what's happening. Who is Sedarius Ashley, and why is he, you know, not got a round impact? 6'6". I like him though. This is ridiculous. I think this is permanently going to be like this. It will never change. Now you can see how the order's messed up. Somebody please help me fix this game. It's how many months has it been out for it to be this bad? I thought I was only scouting, so I am so confused. Why does it do this to me? Please leave me alone and just work like you're supposed to. Wide receivers is one of the last positions we'll be looking at. We will also try and take a look at tight ends as well with the, you know, one last round of points I think that we'll get. I don't think we get any more after these. So we're just going to look at the absolute best possible receivers here. Try and save those points. So basically what is most important and what needs to be the highest graded thing for wide receivers is release. So we're going to look first to see if anybody's got their highest graded thing as release. It's not likely, and they don't. So the next thing we do obviously is we look at catching or route running, and we'll see who's got the best of those. Not spectacular catch, just straight up catch. We've got a B+ route running, and the order's changed again. So it's the end of the season, which means we can take a look at the end of year awards. So NFL MVP is Le'Veon Bell. Coach of the year is Jay Gruden. Offensive player of the year, of course, is Le'Veon Bell again. Defensive player of the year, Von Miller. Offensive rookie of the year is Trayvon Bromley. And that is going to give him an awful lot of experience. Should be able to put his speed up pretty high and spend some more on other things. And a lot of Ravens made it in here. Wes Manley even makes it in at 6. Jaquan Barber, he only had 500 rushing yards, but a bunch of touchdowns. 3 guys make it into the voting. That's not bad. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Hunter Washington only slipped to 3rd, which means if he would have played those final 2 games, or final 3 games really, he missed a lot of the 3rd game. He may have been there. He may have had a chance at winning this. That's really, really frustrating, but it's okay. He's already very good. Best kicker, we don't really care about all the other position voting. Justin Tucker gets best kicker, so of course we can use XP to make an already very good player even better. So let's take a look at the season stats. Not a lot of passing yards at all, but let's appreciate the fact that Wes Manley did finish with more touchdowns than interceptions, 12-10. Say we don't manage to get a quarterback and he is our guy moving forward. That's not too bad. I mean, 57% completion percentage isn't great, but it's really not too bad. Then rushing, I didn't actually keep an eye on this. I was aware of the fact he was close, but I didn't track it in the Raiders game. Trayvon Bromley did finish with 1,600 yards. I think he was 2nd in the league in rushing. We'll take a look to check that. Jaquan Barber, over 500 yards as well. 7 rushing touchdowns for him, 9 for Trayvon Bromley, 9 as well for Tariq Cohen. We didn't even use him that much. He only got 165 yards, but still managed to pick up 9 touchdowns because we liked him there against the goal line on pitches, on outside runs. Then receiving, leading in receptions is Tariq Cohen, but let's take a look at the yards. That's how we like to see it. Juju Smith-Schuster was 700. I think that will go up a lot next season. Once he gets a real quarterback, and the way he was playing, the second half of the season, he should be a 1,000-yard receiver. Tariq Cohen with 500, Jeff Dennis 300, and then a bunch of guys with 300. Then a few guys with 100. 100 yards for Trayvon Bromley as well isn't bad. We take a look at the touchdowns. It's a nice fair split around here. A bunch of guys helping out with receiving touchdowns. Blocking is what it is. Let's take a look at defense. 86 tackles for Xavier Gooden, 85 for Terrence Brooks, 77 for Hunter Washington. And, that's, again, not that crazy interesting. We take a look at the sacks. 17 sacks for Tyus Bowser on the season. Not bad going for him. 9 for Xavier Gooden, 7.5 for Tim Williams. Of course, you could say Tim Williams needs more, but when, the guy across from you is getting 17, you're not going to have as many opportunities. And Tim Williams, I believe, was injured again, wasn't he, this season? So that will feed into that. Hunter Washington with 5.5. Willie Henry with 4.5. Take a look at the interceptions. We did pretty good this season. Eric Murray got 4. Marlon Humphrey got 4 after I don't think he got any in the first season. He gets 4 this time. Xavier Gooden with 1. Chuck Clark with 1. DeAndre Hall with 1. Casey Jacobs got 1 in his rookie season. Lorenzo Doss as well. We take a look at, how many of those they returned. Well, that's not going to tell us exactly. That's not just touchdown returns. Take a look at forced fumbles. 2 for Hunter Washington, 2 for DJ Alexander. Quite a lot of guys with 1. Now take a look at the touchdowns. We've got a few of these this season. But apparently we only got 1. Now, chances are my memory is just wrong. That could be the case. But I also just feel like it didn't count them. I don't know. Did we get any safeties? I learn new things all the time here. I am as unaware of what happened in the season as somebody who hasn't watched a single episode. Somehow, I've obviously played every single one. Blissfully unaware, that's what I call it. So let's take a look at kick return. Kevon Flowers returned 2 touchdowns off 20 returns. That is 1 in 10, which is ridiculous. And then we've got punt returns, and Jakeem Grant returned 2 off 20, which is 1 in 10, which is ridiculous. I swear these numbers, Madden forgot to track them and just made them up. So we can see there Trayvon Bromley was second in the NFL in rushing yards. Not great rankings for Juju Smith-Schuster there, but you just wait until next season. This guy is, that is a man to watch. So, of course, what we can do now is spend all of this XP. All of this XP. Look at that. 40,000 XP. We'll take a look at the line. Do they get all of this XP because Trayvon Bromley made it? I don't know. Maybe they all made the Pro Bowl, but look at it. That's what he's done for this team. There's a bunch of XP to go around, and I'm very excited to use it. Now, the shame with Trayvon Bromley is all that XP, we're only going to be able to put his speed up by 1. Now, his acceleration is great. We will spend 30,000 on his speed. It is important to get it slightly up. Of course, he played well enough, but that speed is very important to us, and we can still, add extra. And at the end of the day, for a running back, it's not really that many important things. You can increase things like his moves and stuff, but really, it's just about getting there fast, having good elusiveness, and that's good enough for a running back. So that is all the XP spent, and the offensive line is where the biggest difference came in. Juju Smith-Schuster went from a 73 to a 75, but Filer, 72 to a 77. Nico Siragusa from a 76 to an 85, jumped 9. Sanborn from a 73 to a 79. Illuminor from a 77 to an 85. So we've got 2 85 rated guards now. You can guess a position we definitely won't be drafting. Nisley, if he would have got the same amount of XP as everybody else, he'd be great now. For some reason, just didn't get the same XP. And then basically the only other big growth was Tyus Bowser going from 80 to an 82. I'm happy with where the team's at, but I'm also very happy to add some more players. Let's finish the off-season here by moving through the weeks and doing what we got to do. So it's Pro Bowl time. Don't worry, we will take a look at how the playoffs have gone, but we're going to do it different this time. I'm not expecting to see anybody from our team here. Usually I don't expect to see anybody. I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of people. Was hoping running back would be one of them, but you're competing with 99s and 93s, and well, they're obviously going to do quite well. Keep looking. Obviously, take a look at what you want. I'm going through relatively quickly, and there we see why our offensive lineman had so much XP. Filer into the Pro Bowl, Siragusa into the Pro Bowl, Sanborn, and Illuminor is no number 2, and that's why our right tackle didn't have it, because he didn't make it in behind the 2 Marcuses, Marcus Gilbert and Marcus Cannon. They're both in. On defense, do we expect to see anybody again? Probably not. Didn't expect to see all those linemen, so that was a nice surprise. I saw Alexander, it's the wrong Alexander. And that is it. Nobody makes it in. Justin Tucker makes it in as a kicker. Jakeem Grant as a kick returner, which makes no sense because it was punt returns that he scored touchdowns on. But sure, maybe it's just the pure yardage, because otherwise Kevin Flowers should be there as well. That is the Pro Bowl roster. So it's time for the Super Bowl, which of course is important because we get another cycle of news, and we'll quickly go to the draft stories. Don't be looking at who made it in the playoffs. Restricted airspace. Courtney Hodges locks down opposition at the All-Star Game MVP. That's good. We need that. Well, we don't need that, as in that is a good piece of news that means something, is what I mean. What it means is that Hodges will have superstar development. I don't actually know who he is. We're going to have to go and take a look. And, you know, a bunch of impacts on his overalls and rounds and everything like that. And then Beastly looking at All-Star guy. Oh no, Harper was one of the stars of the All-Star, shutting down the other team's run game. So that sounds interesting. We need to find out what position he plays as well. That also will give that guy the exact same as the All-Star MVP would give him. Courtney Hodges is a defensive back. Tell us the exact position, because we're going to have to search now. So I was hoping he'd be a safety, because of course we want to draft a safety. It is not. It's a defensive back. It's a cornerback. And there he is. Pittsburgh, man-to-man. That is a guy we do like. He has got the right stats. I do remember that. We can add him to the draft board. He's got everything he needs to have. You got to have B or better in one of the coverages and C+ or better in the others. Courtney Hodges has exactly that. It comes down to his 3-cone drill as well, so once we get those combine results. But we know he's going to have superstar development. We'd like another cornerback. We'd like a third guy, especially if he's a little bit faster, because Lorenzo Doss is good, but he could be faster. Courtney Hodges definitely now probably the guy I'm number one interested in. For tight ends, you want at least B- catching. All these tight ends have B catching, so time to look at the next set of them. It means we've got good guys here, that's for sure. Please work, thank you. So spectacular catches, obviously not really great. It's Frank Heath that might be the only guy that's not good enough. Yeah, he goes down below C+. So these top 3 guys, once we get the combine scores as well, all guys we can look at. So let's now take a look at how the playoffs went. In the wildcard round, it was Titans, Jaguars. The Titans won. Then it was Eagles, Lions, and the Lions won. Bengals, Raiders, with the Bengals taking the win. It's about time. And Cowboys, Seahawks. Seahawks winning that one by 1 point. Moving on to the divisional. Titans, Steelers. Steelers win that one convincingly. The Redskins beat the Seahawks by a big scoreline. The Patriots edge out the Bengals, and the Falcons beat the Lions. So we have the conference games. Patriots, Steelers, 49-31. Steelers cannot stop scoring, and the Falcons beat the Redskins 35-21, which sets up this Super Bowl between the Steelers and the Falcons. And the Steelers do it. They win it 49-27. They were moving through the playoffs so easily, and they finish it off. And they did it again by another big scoreline. So, contracts to negotiate. Let's just take a look at whose contracts are up for renegotiation. We're not going to bore ourselves by looking too much. So, we'll keep Juju Smith-Schuster. We'll keep DJ Alexander. We'll keep Lorenzo Doss. Cal Davis can leave. CJ Uzama can leave. Wendell Smallwood can leave. Darren Waller can leave. Grasu might as well leave. Jaden Myrick we like, but we're going to let him leave. DeAndre Hall I do like, and I do want to keep. He just plays well, and he plays well on special teams. Kamara Hill can leave. Cooper Nolan, we had to bring in at one point. He can leave. So a few guys to keep, but also a few guys to let leave. DJ Alexander has turned us down. He's been huge for us as a backup recent seasons. But we're also looking at a few other guys in the draft, so maybe his time has come and he doesn't want to stick around anyway. And so DeAndre Hall joins the team. All of these other guys we're going to let leave. Now I feel like we can go back and, you know, talk to some of these guys once free agency is over. I feel like they'll still be around, but we're not going to bother chasing them now. So, free agents. We're not going to sign any, but I'm still interested to see who we could theoretically sign. Let's take a look at the top 100. Greg Olsen has become available. Drew Brees is available again. Wasn't he a free agent last year? He was, I think. Delaney Walker. So if you want a tight end, this is your year. If you want a receiver, this is your year. Kelvin Benjamin and Jordy Nelson. Then we've got Michael Pierce. It will be interesting to see where he ends up. Jude Johnson Jr., Brent Grimes. And then I feel like it gets a little bit less interesting. So a few more points to spend. Of course, still looking at wide receivers, tight ends. I'm trying to talk, like, you know, whilst I'm doing this, but with the whole system being broken, I'm just going to shut up. Combine grades are in as well. Very important now. So Joseph McAfee is a guy we can take, as in he's got the right stats. He's not maybe as fast as we would want, but we will also be looking to take his college teammate out of Pittsburgh and to, you know, be able to do the Adoree Jackson, Juju Smith-Schuster thing, but bring them both to the same team. That'd be a lot of fun. JJ Autry could be another guy that we could take. Oh, there is a guy. There is, you know, one of those late round, great value guys out of the University of Louisiana at Monroe. George Connor, B+ catch and B route running, B release. He will be good and we will be drafting him. Should point out as well that he's got 4.34 speed, that he's got a 6.84 3-cone drill. This guy is very good. 4.34 is Tavon Austin, John Brown type speed. It's only the 7th best. I'd like to find some of those other guys, but George Connor, we're coming for you. Our scouting of middle linebackers did not let us down last year. We obviously got a great one in Hunter Washington. Jaleel King, he's the only one where we know he's got B pursuit, but his combine grade is not good enough. Let's take a look. If he was really fast, it would have been like, it's not good enough, but maybe. So Rashad Bass is the only one that potentially could be good enough. We can't see he's got B pursuit, but he could have B pursuit. And his 4.57 speed means we will look to draft him as well. Very good combine scores. We can overlook the fact we can't tell one thing about him. I'd like to have him next to Hunter Washington. So cornerbacks, talked about them before. Let's take a look at that. 8. I don't think I've ever seen an 8 combine grade. Courtney Hodges, what I said about him, you know, we know he's got superstar development. Who cares? Sherrod Travis might be incredible. 4.39 he runs, not bad, but all the others he's first, and then he's only 3rd in vertical jump. Oh, he's very good. He's very good. Now, I wanted a safety. It was very important to me, and zone coverage for the safety is very important. And Rashad Peters having B is nice. Georgia was a running theme in our first season of the Fire Sale franchise, so of course we'd like to take a guy out of Georgia as well. B- pursuit he's got to have. He's literally got that. Let's take a look at his 40-yard dash. A 4.45, the fastest free safety. Again, there's so many guys in the first round, and yeah, we're going to be able to pick up a decent amount of them, but probably not as many as I want to. And that is it. That is it finished. We know everything we want. So now that we've done that, let's take a look at Philip Vanderjagt. Well, let's go to the quarterbacks because we also need to look at Aaron Bolden. I'm kind of nervous to look at him because he looks so good. I'd be so disappointed if he's got some disappointing stats, but the combine grades are good. Let's take a look. Aaron Bolden, he's got a 4.64. Obviously, speed doesn't matter, but for what I like, it kind of does. 4.64. You've just got to be better than 4.64, Vanderjagt, because it's the only other guy we'd even think about drafting. 4.59, the fastest quarterback. I am very happy about that. So, 4.59, if you need your comparison, who else ran a 4.59? Well, it was Cam Newton. So, Philip Vanderjagt is, you know, your Cam Newton type guy. Obviously, that is who we're using our earliest pick on. I don't know what our earliest pick is. We're going to have to take a look at that. But that is the man. That is the man we want. A guy out of Florida who can really move, who can move the ball downfield. This draft could be everything we've ever wanted. That reminds me, we've got something very important to do before we basically finish everything here and advance the week to the draft. We got to look for our man BJ Wiener. BJ Wiener was drafted by the Giants. We know he was drafted by the Giants. Here he is, basically doing nothing. He's got nice speed though. Let's take a look if he did anything last season. So BJ Wiener, look at that. Did I not tell you BJ Wiener is a living legend? 66% completion percentage, which is as good as Eli Manning. 171 yards. He only throws touchdowns. BJ Wiener does nothing but throw touchdowns. Brent Grimes still available. Very interesting. It's the kind of guy we'd take. Let's take a look. Greg Olsen went to the Colts. That is interesting. Breeze went to the Rams. Come on. Unnecessary. Delaney Walker goes to the Bears. Benjamin to the Chiefs. Nelson to the Cowboys. Pierce to the Chiefs. Johnson to the Saints. Ward to the Chiefs. Chiefs and Bears this time, the ones doing a lot of shopping. Chiefs doing a lot of shopping. Jets sign Yeldon. Sitton to the Vikings. Levitre to the Cardinals. And I'm already bored. There you go. Let's just go through some more. Pause if you really care. And you've seen a bunch of players. That is it for this episode, the off-season one. Just like the last time, you won't have to wait an entire week for the draft. That will come shortly after. What I will do now in real life is create the draft board, and then we'll be looking at this draft, which is looking pretty fun. Okay, I won't leave you with a teaser. What we'll do, right now is how we're going to do this. We'll go to the trade center. This is how we'll see what picks we've got. Even though it wasn't definitive the last time, we'll go manual trade. Here is our offer. I know there's another way to do this. We've got the 3rd overall pick, the 4th overall pick, 11th, 14th, 17th, 18th, 19th. We've got so many picks just in the first, half of the first round. With 3 and 4, we should be able to pick up Van der Jagt. I'm scared because there's 2 teams picking before us. Someone else could go for him. We'll have to see who they are because we might have to trade up. We're not missing out on Van der Jagt. That is a promise. I said that with Jameson Nickerson, and Jameson Nickerson in Fire Sale franchise was a legend the entire way through. We're not missing out on Van der Jagt. We will trade up for him if we have to. And with this kind of draft ammo, it'll be very, very easy. Just look at all these draft picks right here. Second round doesn't get any less worse either. Any less worse doesn't get any less better. What am I saying? We got a bunch of draft picks. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be a lot of fun.